Chapter 1. Build an optimistic outlook. Shape your philosophy. Your life, my friends, is a garden, and the thoughts you plant shape the joy you harvest. Every setback you've faced, every failed business, every missed opportunity is not a barren wasteland. It's fertile soil, ready to grow your dreams if you cultivate an optimistic outlook. Why let negativity dim your light when you can shine with positivity? Welcome to Success Roots, where we're igniting your journey to cultivate a positive mindset, blending the timeless wisdom of Jim Rohn with the bold energy of Tony Robbins. Today, we're planting the first seed of self-mastery, building an optimistic outlook to grow your success roots. Imagine Anna, a 55-year-old office clerk who felt lost after a failed business venture. Like many of you, she let negative thoughts about her failures, age, and future cloud her mind, thinking happiness was out of reach. But Anna learned a powerful truth. Your personal philosophy is the greatest factor in how your life turns out. By shaping an optimistic outlook, she transformed her mindset. This idea echoes Jim Rohn, who believed that your philosophy shapes your future. Tony Robbins amplifies this by urging us to choose positivity. Together, they show us that an optimistic outlook is the foundation of self-mastery. What's shaping your philosophy right now? Are you dwelling on what went wrong, thinking, "I'll never succeed"? Or are you choosing optimism, saying, "I create my own joy"? Negative thoughts are weeds choking your garden, but an optimistic outlook lets it bloom. To cultivate a positive mindset, you must shape your philosophy. Your setbacks aren't failures, they're lessons. Your age isn't a limit, it's a strength. Why let negativity dim your light when you can shine for financial freedom? Anna chose optimism, and it changed everything. Here's how to build an optimistic outlook. First, practice gratitude. Write down 3 things you're thankful for daily. Maybe your family, health, or a new day. Second, reframe a challenge. Replace "I failed" with "I learned a lesson." Third, affirm your optimism. Say daily, "I choose positivity to shape my future." Jim Rohn taught us that philosophy shapes our future. Tony Robbins adds that positivity fuels action. Together, they show us that an optimistic outlook grows personal growth and a meaningful life. Let's make it practical. Start a gratitude practice this week. Write down 3 things you're thankful for daily. Reframe one challenge, like "I'm too old" to "I'm experienced." Affirm your optimism daily. Anna practiced gratitude, listing her family, resilience, and opportunities. She reframed her business failure as a lesson in planning. That optimism planted a seed, growing her success roots. After a month, she felt hopeful and started exploring new ventures. Here's a tool to help you. Create a positivity journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for, 1 reframed challenge, and 1 affirmation. Track it for a week. Tony Robbins says that positivity creates momentum. Jim Rohn adds that philosophy shapes your future. Anna's journal helped her stay focused. After 3 months, she was taking online courses and planning a side hustle. Her success roots grew because she built an optimistic outlook. An optimistic outlook isn't about ignoring challenges. It's about shaping your philosophy. Every positive thought strengthens your garden. Anna's optimism led to big changes. Today, at 55, she's running a part-time consulting business and living joyfully. What's one positive thought you'll plant today? Don't let negativity dim your light. Shape your philosophy now. Your garden is taking root, my friends. An optimistic outlook is the seed, but it needs action to grow. Anna's story shows us that positivity sets the stage, but it's only the beginning. What if you could act to reinforce your positivity? Let's keep moving and find out how. Wasamit. Act to reinforce positivity. Focus on what you control. Your garden is sprouting, my friends. With an optimistic outlook as your seed, it's time to water it with action. Your life is a canvas, and actions to reinforce positivity are the brush that paints your joy. Why let circumstances steal your light when you can focus on what you control? Let's dive into the second step of self-mastery, acting to reinforce positivity to grow your success roots. Meet James, a 50-year-old warehouse worker who felt overwhelmed after a failed business. Like many of you, he let external pressures, bills, stress, setbacks, dim his positivity, thinking he had no control. But James learned a powerful truth. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. By acting within his control, he reinforced his positivity. This idea echoes Tony Robbins, who believed that focusing on what you control fuels positivity. Jim Rohn adds that action shapes your future. Together, they show us that acting to reinforce positivity is the brushstroke of self-mastery. What's dimming your positivity right now? External stress? Past failures? Feeling powerless? These are shadows on your canvas, but they don't define you. To cultivate a positive mindset, you must act on what you control. Your setbacks don't control you. They teach you. Your circumstances aren't fixed. They're challenges. Why let external pressures dim your light when you can paint a masterpiece with positivity? James acted within his control, and it changed everything. Here's how to act to reinforce positivity. First, identify one thing you control, maybe your daily routine or a small action. Write it down. Second, take one positive action today. Spend 10 minutes on a task you control, like planning your day or learning a skill. Third, affirm your control. Say daily, I focus on what I control to grow my positivity. Tony Robbins says that control fuels positivity. Jim Rohn adds that action shapes your future. Together, they show us that positive actions grow personal growth and a meaningful life. Let's make it practical. Identify one thing you control this week. Maybe your morning routine. Spend 10 minutes planning your day with positivity. James controlled his learning, spending 10 minutes daily researching e-commerce. That action painted a new stroke, growing his success roots. After a month, he was testing products with optimism. Here's a tool to help you. Create a control journal. Each day, write down one thing you control, one positive action you took, and one affirmation. Track it for a week. Tony Robbins says that control creates momentum. Jim Rohn adds that action shapes your future. James's journal kept him accountable. After 3 months, he launched a small online store, earning his first $100. His success roots grew because he acted to reinforce positivity. Acting to reinforce positivity isn't about controlling everything. It's about focusing on what you can. Every action you take paints your joy. James's positivity led to big changes. Today, at 50, he's running a side business and living joyfully. What's one positive action you'll take today? Don't let circumstances steal your light. Focus on control now. Your optimistic outlook is the seed, and positive actions are the brush. James's story shows us that focusing on control creates results, but it takes effort to overcome negativity. What if you could conquer negative thinking to stay positive? Let's keep moving and find out how. Number 3. Overcome negative thinking. Choose your attitude. Your canvas is coming alive, my friends. With an optimistic outlook and actions to reinforce positivity, it's time to clear the obstacles blocking your joy. Your life is a workshop, and negative thinking is the clutter that dims your mindset. Why let circumstances dictate your attitude when you can choose positivity? Let's dive into the third step of self-mastery: overcoming negative thinking to grow your success roots. Meet Linda, a 46-year-old store clerk who felt trapped after a failed startup. Like many of you, she let negative thoughts about her age, failures, and future cloud her mind, thinking circumstances defined her. But Linda learned a powerful truth: don't let your circumstances dictate your attitude. Let your attitude dictate your circumstances. By choosing a positive attitude, she overcame negativity. This idea echoes Jim Rohn, who believed that attitude shapes your future. Tony Robbins adds that mindset drives progress. Together, they show us that overcoming negative thinking is the tool of self-mastery. What's clouding your mindset right now? Thoughts like, "I'm not enough?" Fears of failure? Feeling too old? These are piles of clutter in your workshop, but they don't define you. To cultivate a positive mindset, you must choose your attitude. Your setbacks aren't limits, they're lessons. Your circumstances aren't fixed, they're challenges. Why let negativity dim your light when you can choose positivity for a meaningful life? Linda chose her attitude, and it changed everything. Here's how to overcome negative thinking. First, identify one negative thought. Maybe I'll never succeed. Write it down. Second, reframe it with a positive attitude. Replace it with, I'm learning to succeed. Third, affirm your attitude. Say daily, my attitude shapes my future. Jim Rohn taught us that attitude shapes our future. Tony Robbins adds that mindset fuels progress. Together, they show us that overcoming negativity grows personal growth and a meaningful life. Let's make it practica. Identify one negative thought this week. Maybe, I'm too old. Reframe it to, my experience is my strength. Affirm your attitude daily. Linda reframed, I failed, to I learned. She affirmed her positive attitude daily. That choice cleared her clutter, growing her success roots. After a month, she was learning new skills with confidence. Here's a tool to help you. Create a mindset journal. Each day, write down one negative thought, one reframed thought, and one affirmation. Track it for a week. Tony Robbins says that mindset creates progress. Jim Rohn adds that attitude shapes your future. Linda's journal helped her stay focused. After 3 months, she was freelancing part-time and earning extra income. Her success roots grew because she overcame negative thinking. Overcoming negative thinking isn't about ignoring challenges, it's about choosing your attitude. Every positive choice strengthens your workshop. Linda's attitude led to big changes. Today, at 46, she's building a freelance career and living joyfully. What's one negative thought you'll reframe today? Don't let circumstances dim your light. Choose positivity now. Your optimistic outlook and positive actions are painting a masterpiece, and overcoming negativity keeps your brush steady. Linda's story shows us that attitude creates results, but it takes consistency to make it last. What if you could sustain positivity for the long haul? Let's keep moving and find out how. Chapter 4. Sustain long-term positivity. Give to live. Your workshop is thriving, my friends. With an optimistic outlook, positive actions, and no negative thinking, it's time to keep the fire burning. Your life is a garden, and long-term positivity is the water that nurtures your joy. Why let positivity fade when you can give to live? Let's dive into the final step of self-mastery: Sustaining long-term positivity to grow your success roots. Meet Michael, a 58-year-old driver who felt hopeless after a failed business. Like many of you, he struggled to stay positive, thinking setbacks defined his life. But Michael learned a powerful truth. The secret to living is giving, and a positive mindset amplifies your ability to give. By sustaining positivity through giving, he transformed his life. This idea echoes Tony Robbins, who believed that giving fuels positivity. Jim Rohn adds that contributes shapes your future. Together, they show us that long-term positivity is the water of self-mastery. What's sustaining your positivity right now? Are you holding back or giving to others? Temporary positivity fades, but giving creates lasting joy. To cultivate a positive mindset, you must give consistently. Your setbacks aren't losses, they're lessons. Your positivity isn't fleeting, it's renewable. Why let positivity fade when you can give for a meaningful life? Michael gave to others, and it changed everything. Here's how to sustain long-term positivity. First, choose one way to give, maybe sharing a skill or offering support. Write it down. Second, take one action to give daily. Spend 5 minutes helping someone, like sharing a tip. Third, affirm your positivity. Say daily, "I give to sustain my joy." Tony Robbins says that giving fuels positivity. Jim Rohn adds that contribution shapes your future. Together, they show us that long-term positivity grows personal growth and a meaningful life. Let's make it practical. Choose one way to give this week, maybe sharing a budgeting tip with a friend. Spend 5 minutes helping them daily. Michael shared his e-commerce knowledge with a colleague. That action watered his garden, growing his success roots. After a month, he was mentoring others and feeling joyful. Here's a tool to help you. Create a positivity tracker. Each day, write down one way you gave, one action you took, and one affirmation. Track it for a week. Tony Robbins says that giving creates joy. Jim Rohn adds that contribution shapes your future. Michael's tracker kept him consistent. After 6 months, he was running a part-time business and living joyfully. His success roots grew because he sustained long-term positivity. Long-term positivity isn't about constant highs, it's about giving consistently. Every act of giving waters your garden. Michael's positivity led to big changes. Today, at 58, he's running a business and living with purpose. What's one way you'll give today? Don't let positivity fade. Give to live now. Your life is a garden, my friends. Every choice you make, every optimistic thought, positive action, reframed mindset, and giving effort grows your success roots. Why let another moment pass without cultivating a positive mindset? You've learned to build an optimistic outlook, act to reinforce positivity, overcome negative thinking, and sustain long-term positivity. Now it's time to act. Take one bold step today. Practice gratitude. Take a positive action, or give to someone. You have the power to cultivate a positive mindset. Subscribe to Success Roots for weekly motivation to build your extraordinary future. Share in the comments, what's one action you'll take today to grow your success roots? Let's keep growing together.